Joseph Iron Man Ardizzone, born Giuseppe Ernesto Ardizzone. Italian pronunciation, D, Latin small letter S U, modifier letter vertical line Z, Latin small letter open A P modifier letter vertical line N, Latin small letter open A Ardit, modifier letter vertical line So, modifier letter triangular colon A, November 19, 1884. Disappeared October 15, 1931. Declared dead 1938, was an Italian-born early Los Angeles mobster, who became the first boss of the Los Angeles crime family. He was involved in a long-standing feud with the Matranga family. He once claimed to have killed 30 men. Early life. Ardizzone was born on November 19, 1884 in Piana dei Greci, today Piana degli Albanesi, in the province of Palermo, Sicily, to Antonino Ardizzone. The Ardizzones were related to several other families and they would maintain contact in America. Those families included the Cuccias and the Matrangas. Early years in America. The Ardizzone family came to America at different times. Antonino came in the later 19th century, landing in Louisiana, then taking the train to Southern California. He became a wealthy farmer and winemaker. His other children, including Stefano and Francesco, also moved to the Los Angeles area. Giuseppe was one of the last to arrive. Matranga feud. For reasons uncertain, Giuseppe, who Americanized his name to Joseph, became involved in a dispute with the Matrangas who lived in Los Angeles. They were distant cousins from Piana dei Greci. In what he later called an act of self-defense, Joseph shot and killed a Matranga ally named George Maisano in 1906. He then fled California and hid in different states. He eventually returned and was arrested, but the charges against him were dropped. In December 1914, he then married Elsa Marie Ellenberger, who was the daughter of a German neighbor in the city of Sunland, California, where they lived at that time. In court documents, she had also been referred to as Elsie Ardizzone. Shortly after that, their home was burned down by arsonists. Starting in 1917, 3 of the rival Matrangas were killed. Sam Matranga was shot in front of his home, 1837 Darwin Avenue. His brother Pietro Matranga was also shot in front of his home, 1510 Biggie Street, a month later. Then a relative of the Matrangas, Joseph LaPaglia, was also killed. On October 12, 1918, Tony Matranga fired a rifle at Stephen Ardizzone, which hit his truck. Matranga was tried on a charge of assault with a deadly weapon. Later life. While it is uncertain when Ardizzone became a member of the Mafia, or even if his immediate family were members, he was in a leadership position in the early 1920s. Upon the resignation of Rosario Desimone for unknown reasons, he became the next chief of the Los Angeles crime family. During his time as boss, prohibition was active and many, if not most, mafiosi were involved in bootlegging. The Los Angeles family was certainly active during this time period. In 1931, when the Castellamarese War between Joseph Masria and Salvatore Maranzano was taking place, the Los Angeles crime family may have supported Maranzano. Nick Gentile notes in his memoirs that during a conference Maranzano was backed by 2 men from California. Joseph Bonanno, died 2002, and his son Salvatore Bonanno, died 2008, wrote of several close associates in the Los Angeles area, such as Jimmy Costa, from Castellammare del Golfo, Nick Guastella, Frank Bompasiero, and Tony Mirabile. It was also during this time that a faction developed that opposed Ardizzone. In early 1931, he was driving with his friend Jimmy Basil when gunmen drove by and shot at them. Basil was killed and Ardizzone wounded. Ardizzone managed to be taken to the house of Leon Desimone, the physician son of former L.A. Don Rosario Desimone. He was treated and sent to a hospital. A second attempt was made on his life in the hospital, so his family came to act as bodyguards. Underworld sources indicated that he agreed to retire after these incidents. The opposing faction apparently did not believe Ardizzone, and on October 15, 1931, while on his way to a cousin's house in Etiwanda, driving the 1930 Ford Coupe SRW 7653 and carrying a .41 caliber Colt revolver, NO.323. He disappeared. An intense search followed, but his body was never found. After 7 years, Ardizzone's wife had him declared legally dead. See also list of people who disappeared. Notes. References: California Assembly, Interim Committee on Judiciary, Organized Crime in California. Report of the Subcommittee on Rackets. Sacramento, 1959. Gentile, Nick, with Felice Cilanti. Vita di Capo Mafia. Rome, Editori Riuniti, 1963. State of California. Final report of the Special Crime Study Commission on Organized Crime. Sacramento, 1953. Warner, Richard N. The First Mafia Boss of Los Angeles? The Mystery of Vito Di Giorgio, 1880-1922. On the Spot Journal, Summer 2008, 4654.